In August 2019, a natural gas pipeline exploded in the city of Lexington, Kentucky, United States, resulting in 6 casualties. The record blamed the pipe's operating company for their carelessness that caused a rupture and explosion in the pipeline. This case demonstrates just how important it is to maintain the integrity of oil and gas pipeline in order to create safety for both people and environment. Therefore, to fulfill this goal, we established our research entitled The Innovation of Autonomous Industrial In-Pipe Inspection Robot. I should mention that this is a joint research together with my colleague, Atsana, a graduate student. This is the overview of what we will cover in this presentation. Although explosion is one of the extreme cases, surprisingly, pipeline accidents are not rare. PHMSA, a US pipeline safety administrator, stated that there is a 0.4% incidence per year per 1,000 km of pipeline. This condition is due to several factors. The top two major factors, however, is corrosion and material failure. Thus, pipeline needs to be inspected for this defect in a timely and accurate manner. To perform this test, industries commonly use pipeline inspection gauge or PIG. Utilizing the difference in pressure, PIG moves inside the pipeline along with the fluid flow and able to take measurement using onboard sensors such as MFL, eddy current, ultrasonic, and many more. However, another rival to PIG's devices is in-pipe inspection robot or IPIR. Compared to PIG, IPIR is relatively new technology. In its operation, IPIR uses camera-based visual inspection, while most robots developed today still use a tether system and manual control. This is a video of example of IPIR from Nexus. Nexus is one of the major companies that specialize in pipeline robotics. Here, they demonstrate many robotic platforms that use different kinds of mobility control, mechanics, and kinematics. Their VT series lineup is a vertical crawler that has a magnetic wheel allowing them to perform inspection in any orientation, negotiate bends, and difficult terrain. We summarize the advantage and disadvantage of both PIG and IPIR in this slide. The benefit of using PIG is a very accurate detection and capable of long-range operation, while IPIR is less accurate since it only relies on visual inspection and the tether system limits the operational range. A PIG, however, has a complex profile. Most of them are designed with solid magnets that can break during operation, thus it is crucial to frequently maintain PIG devices, subsequently leading to increase in costs. On the other hand, IPIR has an upper hand in terms of simplicity and flexibility in the design, fabrication, maintenance, and operation, reducing the expenses. But what if we tell you that we can have both merits from the simplicity of IPIR to the accuracy of PIG? We present to you Project Orion. Orion is an ambitious project to construct a fully autonomous, tether-less, intelligent robotic platform. To achieve this, Orion needs to have several key features. First, it needs to be able to accurately measure pipe defects that we achieve using depth sensory camera. Second, a reliable, robust, yet simple mobility method. It also must use durable material while implementing additive manufacturing techniques. Fourth, it needs to be capable of autonomous operation by implementing intelligent control algorithm, namely CNN and VSLAM. Lastly, it must be able to wirelessly transmit data. However, we limit our research to this condition. First, inspection is only for visual inspection, meaning only what the camera can see. Second, only straight, uninterrupted pipeline is considered. The depth camera that will be used is stereo, and the robot cannot operate in active pipeline. Practically speaking, transmission pipeline is chosen as the operating environment for the robot, since it has the characteristic that we are looking for, a straight, leveled, and with limited bend. It is a large diameter pipe ranging from 400 to 1200 mm. Given this terrain and condition, we decided to use caterpillar mechanism with dual drive system for the robot's mobility. Orion architecture is designed to be completely modular. It consists of 4 modules: driver, control, arm, and communication modules. From the design parameters, we target the robot to have an operating life of 3 hours and able to carry a payload of 2 kg. The robot is suited for pipe with diameter ranging from 110 to 420 mm and able to negotiate incline angle of 30 degrees. We also try to use off-the-shelf components as much as possible to reduce the cost and development time. Most of the custom parts are accounted for the robot's structural body, and for this, carbon fiber reinforced polymer or CFRP is chosen. CFRP is an advanced non-metallic composite material and its mechanical properties is comparable and even exceed a lower grade aluminum alloy. These factors make CFRP application can even be seen in aircraft parts. Another benefit of CFRP is that it can easily printable. However, it needs a specialized printer to print continuous strand of CFRP filament. Therefore, we use Mark II printer from Markforged. The onboard electronic consists of IMU, Hall effect sensor, DC motor, servo motor, lithium-ion battery, solid-state drive, microcontroller, and microprocessor. Lately, stereo depth camera has seen an increase in use, for example in smartphone. In principle, stereoscopic vision basically works like our eyes. It captures an object with two cameras, compare both images, and triangulate the distance from the camera to the object. A more advanced method is to use infrared projector and photosensors. This way, it can estimate the distance more accurate. This research will use depth camera model D435 from Intel. Preliminary testing of the camera shows its capability in measuring depth of each pixel combined with object detectors, which we will discuss later. Visual simultaneous localization and mapping, or VSLAM, is a technique to map and localize an object in 3D space using cameras. In this case, this ability is important for the robot to autonomously navigate inside the pipeline. This research will use OrbSLAM algorithm developed by Raoul Moore-Arta. Here, we demonstrate the algorithm using MAV dataset from other researchers in ETH Zurich. The next algorithm is convolutional neural network, or CNN. This is used to detect and inspect anomalies in the pipeline. For this, we implement YOLO system. Developed by Redmond and Farhadi, YOLO is the fastest CNN-based object detection algorithm suitable for real-time detection. As can be seen from the video, it is able to track fast-moving objects quite accurately and also with fast camera movement. Finally, to control the manipulator arm, a technique called image-based visual servoing, or IBVS, is used. In IBVS, the frame captured from the camera is used as the feedback to control the arm. The Orion manipulator arm consists of 4 degrees of freedom with eye-in-hand camera configuration. The aim of this algorithm is to capture a centered and leveled image of the defect to avoid the perspective view problem. Communication system. This part actually is covered by my colleague, so I will just explain it briefly. For this, we use visual light communication, or VLC system. As the name suggests, VLC is a way of transmitting data by light. It works based on OOK, or on-off locking protocol, which basically is a binaries. Lights on, 1, lights off is 0. VLC offers a great advantage such as energy efficient, fast data transfer, cheap to produce, lightweight, and safe. The experiment will be conducted using 3 different light sources: LED, LED with collimated lens, and LD, or laser diode, to find the optimum one. Another technology that we consider is LoRa. The distinct feature of LoRa compared to other radio transceiver is that LoRa signal can travel in a long distance, and the device is power efficient. However, the downside is that LoRa transfer rate is very slow, only 0.3 to 50 kilobyte per second. Although it is not possible to transfer video at this rate, it might be useful to use LoRa as the backup system to mitigate the potential failure of the main VLC unit. We provide step-by-step methodology on how to train and test custom YOLO object detectors. To more detailed explanation, please refer to section 3.1 because I will not explain this part in this presentation. But what I will emphasize in this section is how to interpret the result. In the training result, basically there are 2 variables: training time and average loss. Loss is the number that indicates how bad the model prediction. It is important to note that in the training, we have to avoid underfitting or overfitting the model. In the testing result, we consider intersection over union, or IOU. It is a number from 0 to 1 that quantifies the similarity between ground truth, or the target bounding box, and the predicted bounding box. The detection is then classified into true positive, or TP, false positive, or FP, or false negative, or FN. This is determined based on the IOU threshold, typically 50%, or AP50, or 75%, or AP75. This means that if the IOU score is less than this threshold, then it is considered false positive detection. We calculate accuracy by the percentage of correct prediction. Precision is how close the predicted bounding box to the ground truth. Recall is how much ground truth is correctly detected. Both of these variables can be graphically presented in a precision recall curve to provide model-wide evaluation. Lastly, the average precision, or AP, is a number that summarizes this curve. There are 3 models that has been tested. The first model only consists of 450 images, while both Model 2 and Model 3 has 1,300 images. The difference is that Model 3 was trained longer with 6,000 iterations. As expected, Model 3 has the longest training time with approximately 20 hours and has average loss of 0.376. The model is then tested on 100 images on general corrosion using AP75 matrix. The result shows that Model 3 achieved the best performance with 64% accuracy and 59.4% precision. From the precision recall curve, it is also shown that Model 3 has the highest overall precision. This experiment proves that larger dataset and higher iteration will produce better model. This is some detection examples. Since the robot will perform in-pipe inspection, another test was done on 10 images specifically on internal pipe corrosion. However, the model only achieved 30% accuracy and 36.5% precision. This low performance is due to the limited images on the internal pipe corrosion in the trained datasets. Since the outsourcing of the dataset images only rely on the internet, there are not many images in this instance that can be found. When running a YOLO real-time, it is important to consider the frame per second, or FPS. Here, FPS represents the processing rate of the computer to complete a single frame. The processor needs to keep up with the video input of the camera to avoid lag. This is an example of lag detection. The algorithm is running on 640p video feed using CPU processing. The processor only achieves 1.5 FPS on average. Thus, it is highly not recommended using CPU. Here, we demonstrate the capabilities of the detection system. First, with an image with multiple corrosion instances. Second, detection of corrosion in partial occlusion. And third, detection with eluding object and partial occlusion. However, this model is still not perfect. We can sometimes see errors, usually on a dark brown or textured object. These include objects such as tree bark, coconut shell, and brown crow. For the next improvement, we are planning to use YOLO version 4, which is just recently released in May. It promises improvement over version 3, with an increase in AP and FPS by 10% and 12% respectively. In conclusion, this research ultimately provides significant improvement over current IPIR devices. The integration of intelligent algorithms such as CNN and VSLAM, and also the use of VLC protocol, allow the robot for autonomous and tether-less operation. Project Orion aims to pioneer a highly advanced robotic platform for pipeline inspection and navigation. Thank you. And this is an overview of the project progress and the expected expenditure.